In a remarkable twist of global events, China and Saudi Arabia have jointly declared an oil embargo against the United States. The implications of this unprecedented move are profound. Oil, often referred to as the lifeblood of modern economies, plays a pivotal role in numerous sectors, encompassing transportation, industry, and residential heating. Given the interconnected nature of global economies, this sudden halt in oil supply could lead to catastrophic consequences not only for the US but for the entire global economic order. To comprehend the gravity of this embargo, it's essential to consider the historical relationships at play. The United States has long maintained a strategic alliance with Saudi Arabia, partially founded on the US's dependence on Saudi oil reserves. On the other hand, China, while a competitor in various arenas, has been a critical trading partner for the US. This joint sanction represents a surprising, if not alarming, development in international politics, signifying not only strained diplomatic relations but also the potential realignment of global alliances. The immediate aftermath of this announcement witnessed a nosedive in the stock market. Industries directly reliant on oil, such as airlines, shipping, and automotive, experienced a sharp decline in their stock values. However, the repercussions extended far beyond these sectors. Panic ensued as businesses and consumers grappled with the potential fallout. Soaring oil prices translated into higher costs for everyday products, spanning from food to electronics, due to increased transportation and production expenses. The Consumer Price Index, which measures the average change in prices of goods and services over time, skyrocketed. The U.S. transportation sector was among the hardest hit, with public transport services scaled back, and airlines, already grappling with slim profit margins, facing bankruptcy or significant downsizing. The American dream of personal car ownership turned into an economic nightmare for many as gas prices soared. Since electric vehicles represent only a fraction of the market, the vast majority of Americans were left without an affordable means of transportation. The impact was not confined to the U.S. The globalized nature of trade meant that supply chains were disrupted worldwide. Countries dependent on the U.S. as a major market faced the prospect of a significant economic downturn. Meanwhile, nations relying on the U.S. for their imports began seeking alternatives, reshaping global trade routes. This shift presented both new opportunities and challenges for many nations, especially those in the developing world. With the embargo sending shockwaves through its economy, the U.S. would likely witness long-term changes. The manufacturing sector, which had been making a steady comeback, could suffer a substantial blow. Reduced domestic production capacity due to higher operational costs would make U.S. products less competitive globally. Furthermore, the sudden surge in energy prices would likely fuel inflation, eroding the purchasing power of the average American. With diminishing savings and higher living costs, domestic consumption would further contract, affecting the economy. However, this embargo could serve as the catalyst for a significant shift in U.S. energy policy. There might be a swift move towards bolstering domestic oil production. Although this approach comes with environmental and political challenges, it could also drive massive investments in renewable energy sources. Initiatives like the Green New Deal or similar legislative efforts could gain more traction, hastening the transition to cleaner energy alternatives. As the saying goes, necessity is the mother of invention. While these sanctions may initially appear detrimental, they could stimulate a range of innovative solutions in the U.S. For example, constraints on oil supply might lead to rapid advancements in alternative fuel technologies. The push towards electric vehicles, hydrogen fuel cells, and other sustainable transportation modes could attract substantial public and private investment. A silver lining in this crisis might be the resurgence of local industries. With global supply chains disrupted, there's potential for domestic production to fill the void, potentially leading to job creation across various sectors, from agriculture to manufacturing. Over time, a more self-sustained economy could emerge, reducing the vulnerability of the U.S. to international shocks. Furthermore, this crisis presents an opportunity for the U.S. to build and strengthen its diplomatic ties with other nations. While the sanctions imposed by China and Saudi Arabia constitute a significant blow, the U.S. still maintains influential relationships globally. In an unforeseen global twist, countries like Canada, Mexico, and various European nations could potentially step forward to help mitigate the energy deficit. Additionally, new alliances might form out of necessity, drawing attention to nations previously overlooked due to political differences or perceived strategic insignificance. These countries could become central to U.S. foreign policy as the nation seeks to diversify its energy sources. On a societal level, this crisis could foster a stronger sense of community and solidarity among Americans. Resource sharing, carpooling, and increased support for local businesses might become more commonplace. Furthermore, this event could stimulate more substantial public discourse on energy conservation, climate change, and sustainability, with the younger generation taking the lead in advocating for long-term environmental and economic health. Beyond the U.S., this sanction could reshape global geopolitics and trade dynamics. Other countries may view the vulnerability of the U.S. as a cautionary tale, leading to a global push for energy source diversification, which would benefit renewable energy markets worldwide. Moreover, oil-dependent nations like Russia and Venezuela may see opportunities to expand their market share, potentially resulting in shifts in political alliances based on evolving economic interests. Looking beyond immediate adaptations, this situation might force the U.S. to reevaluate its economic framework. Over recent decades, globalization and neoliberal economic policies have been central to U.S. strategy. However, these sanctions expose the vulnerabilities of an excessively globalized economy, potentially prompting a return to more protectionist policies aimed at safeguarding domestic interests and reducing external dependencies. In the realm of technology, this energy crisis could usher in a new era of innovation. Necessity may drive research and development in fields that previously lacked substantial funding or interest. Battery technologies, for instance, might see breakthroughs, benefiting not only electric vehicles but also the storage of renewable energy. The rise of smart grids, optimized energy distribution, and advancements in telecommunication could become the norm, establishing a culture of decentralized workplaces and potentially reducing urban congestion. The crisis might also draw attention to the importance of robust public infrastructure, leading to government initiatives aimed at improving public transportation systems. These initiatives could alleviate some of the impacts of the oil sanctions while offering long-term benefits such as reduced traffic pollution and overall urban living improvements. The political landscape would inevitably undergo changes. The embargo could lead to shifts in domestic politics, with leaders advocating for aggressive energy independence rising to prominence. Conversely, voices emphasizing diplomacy, multilateralism, and international cooperation might gain traction. The American public, directly impacted by the sanctions, would play a pivotal role in shaping this discourse. Furthermore, the situation might prompt the U.S. to become more involved in international energy forums and alliances, emphasizing the importance of energy security alongside national security. Above all, the sanctions could serve as a poignant reminder of the planet's finite resources. A deeper societal acknowledgement that over-reliance on fossil fuels is neither sustainable nor viable in the long run could drive both policy and cultural shifts towards more sustainable living practices. This shift could encompass various aspects, from urban planning and architecture to consumption habits and waste management. The road ahead for the U.S. post-oil sanctions by China and Saudi Arabia is unquestionably laden with challenges. Every sector, from economics to politics, will feel the tremors of this monumental decision. However, history is replete with instances of nations using crises as catalysts for transformative change. The U.S., with its vast resources, technological prowess, and resilient spirit, is well equipped to navigate these tumultuous waters. The decisions made in the wake of this crisis will not only shape its future but also set a precedent for global governance, cooperation, and sustainability.